Hi, I am Dr. Ref Presco, and I am here to discuss the latest sculpture by Hank Willis Thomas entitled The Embrace. Apparently, this work has many of you with contradicting opinions and perspectives regarding the overall aesthetic of the bronze sculpture. So I thought perhaps I can provide clarity and points to consider for you today. Point number one, most people who criticize art are often viewers and critics who are not creatives. I want you to think about the fact that this was a commissioned piece by a nonprofit organization who selected and commissioned Hank Willis Thomas for this sculpture. I can assure you a great number of conversations, illustrations, and revisions were had before this piece ever made it to the Boston Common for final installation. When a commission is up, many artists are looked at for this piece. It is a lengthy selection process, which ultimately ended with Hank Willis Thomas as the artist for this particular commission. Point number two, The Embrace is inspired by a photograph of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, both civil rights leaders, after Dr. King received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. The sculpture focuses on the physical touch between two people who have captured our hearts and our minds for their dedication, their love, their leadership, and legacy. The actual photograph commemorates a moment. Thomas's sculpture looks to commemorate a movement. Context is very important. There is intention here. This aspect of the story is what Hank Willis Thomas, as the artist, has chosen to depict. This is a profound narrative, and when you connect with the artist's intention and his voice, your appreciation for the piece should be undeniable. I heard Roland Martin talking about the work being subjective. In some cases, that may be true for other works, but consider the story Hank Willis Thomas has chosen to depict. Connect with his message before you dismiss the overall quality of his work. Point number three, yes, this is a public artwork meant for public consumption like many other monuments of historical figures, non-representational works, and whimsical sculptures around this country fixed in prominent locations. Sculptures are three-dimensional, so they're meant to be viewed in the round in most cases. Depending on where you stand, this work will present a new perspective. So when viewing The Embrace from one or two different angles, you will see the actual hug along with Coretta Scott's signature bracelet as evident in the photograph. However, from above or alternate angles, you may lose sight of what we could consider the representation. So the misinterpretations and the derogatory comments about this particular work, it's sort of, these comments sort of reign in the abstract, right? So the abstract quality of the sculpture as viewed from the angles that one cannot necessarily see the blatant narrative should consider their abstraction as the abyss or the paradox to what we would consider love. So the embrace focuses on togetherness, the union we should all feel and consider as the civil rights era rests at our feet today in 2023. Now, one of the final points I want to make, Hank Willis Thomas is a visual artist. He created a bronze sculpture standing 20 feet tall and 25 feet in width and depth. An artist who can manipulate materials and work in diverse mediums to communicate in ways that are innovative and unique. Now that's the win. Artists are artists because they capture our attention in ways to inspire, offer a critical analysis about history and culture, and to also communicate their interpretation of beauty or their interpretation of the environment. If you sexualized this piece or mocked it, I would challenge you to grow your mindset. Beauty is not a monolith. However, sometimes ignorance is.